Good morning, everybody. Friday Thoughts, Susan Odell here. Hope everybody had a great week. Let's just jump right into it. So we're part 4 or 5 in terms of sharing just a few of the case studies lived by me in successful change, which we do have a lock date, August 26th, excuse me, September 26th will be the date of its availability on Amazon. Pre-order is coming, so stay tuned for that. I'll have updates next week. So this week I want to talk about the reality that if you are in leadership, whether that's middle management or senior leadership, and you are leading significant change, transformational change, I'll just leave it at that. Not projects that are on the agenda, operational, tactical, but significant change. You may potentially be working yourself out of a job when you succeed at that change. And so I want to share a case study with you where I had that exact experience. So I was working for a software company. We were acquired by a much larger organization. It was a multinational transaction with a global footprint, and I had a peer. So I've got my team. We're not tiny, but we're small in comparison to the mothership that had a significantly larger team and a big footprint. And so when you get acquired and you're in this position where you know you have a peer and that peer has a much larger organization and they're respected by leadership, then you don't have to do the math, right? Like what happens to me as a result of this acquisition? And so typically in an M&A scenario, there's going to be an integration period, and the role of every leader, and again, manager, director, VP, doesn't matter, what your level is, if you have a peer within the acquirer organization, then your job is to collaborate with your peer and integrate the business in whatever way that means. So sometimes it's a full integration and it becomes one new team. Sometimes you might have brands that stay autonomous, but you still need to adhere to some common principles and operational conduct. And so that's a scenario that I was in. And so if any of you are in that scenario, you have a choice, right? You can say, okay, I know I'm going to be likely out of a job as a manager. Would I want to pursue an individual contributor role in this organization after we're done? Is there opportunity for me to take a lateral leading a different team? So depending on the size of the acquirer organization, you might have opportunity to do a lateral or you might not, right? And so if you look at the picture and you see that there's really not going to be anything that you're interested in, then what you're staring in the face is that you might work yourself out of a job when you succeed at the change and transformation in front of you. And guess what? That's totally okay, but know that that is a scenario. So that's what I went through, and I'll never forget that one day I'm in my office, and two of my senior representatives came in, and they wanted to meet with me because they were really nervous about losing their jobs, and they wanted to talk about it. And so the case study in the book covers that scenario of you as a leader knowing what the end game might be for you, but then making a choice, right? And it comes back to your why. Why are you doing the things that you're doing? And for me, succeeding at change in this integration scenario was two-part. Obviously, I was very interested in learning, working through the process of post M&A integration on a global scale, and that was like the biggest piece of integration work I'd done at that point in my career, so invaluable. But I also wanted to look after my team, right? And I've talked to you about this, like I have a passion for helping people, and even when I didn't know it here clearly back then, there was no way I was going to leave and not look after my team and make sure that they were looked after through the process of integration. So I talk about that conversation in the book and how I presented the reality of the situation back to them in a way that gave them confidence, and that when they left, they felt good about their future. And so that's my Friday thoughts for you. If succeeding at change sometimes will work you out of a job, and it's okay, because that's about the greater good. It's about helping people succeed. And if you're successful, that win that caused you to have to move on to the next role, next opportunity, is part of the track record of trust and performance that you're leaving behind, and that's meaningful. And so that's also about the long game, right? Like, try not to be absolutely myopic about only today. It's about the long game, which in my case has been a while. So, song of the week this week is Elton John's Sacrifice. The lyrics have absolutely nothing to do with my talk track today, but yeah, succeeding at transformation, succeeding at solving complex problems and challenges, whether you're on the business side or maybe it's on the engineering side, doesn't really matter. Sometimes it's about knowing you're going to have to sacrifice yourself at the end in order to succeed. And as leaders, that's really important that you embrace that. It's part of the journey. Okay, have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.